Hello everyone, my speech today will be about schools should start later in the mornings. Introduction. Today I want to persuade you that schools should start later in the morning because early school start times are harming students' health, academic performance, and overall safety. This topic matters because almost every student has experienced being exhausted before the school day even begins. If we truly care about helping students succeed, then we should also care about whether they're getting enough sleep. Today, I'll explain the problem with early school start times, discuss why this problem exists, and show why delaying school start times is the best solution. I want you to imagine this. It's 5:30 in the morning, your alarm goes off, but your body feels like it just fell asleep. You drag yourself out of bed, rush to get ready, and catch the bus before the sun has even risen. I have experienced this myself firsthand, and the bus was a 15-minute walk from my house. The problem. The biggest problem with early school start times is that they leave students chronically sleep deprived. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, May 15, 2024, teenagers need between 8 and 10 hours of sleep every night to stay healthy and perform their best. However, many students get far less than that because they have to wake up so early for school. Most of the time, I used to skip first and second period because I was so tired and needed the extra sleep, which was horrible for my attendance and grades. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, April 2nd, 2026, school with later start times report students getting more sleep, better attendance, improved grades, better mental health, and fewer car crashes involving teen driving. Imagine being a parent who receives a phone call that your child was involved in a serious accident simply because they were too tired to react in time. No assignment or early school bell is worth risking a student's life. So now that we understand the problem, we have to ask ourselves one question. Why are teenagers so exhausted in the first place? The cause. Many people assume teenagers stay up too late because they're irresponsible or spend too much time on their electronics. While electronics can certainly affect sleep, science tells us there's another major reason. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, September 2014, teenagers experience a natural shift in their biological clock during puberty. This means their brains don't begin producing melatonin, the hormone that helps us fall asleep, until much later at night. In other words, many teenagers physically cannot fall asleep early, even if they try. So when schools require students to be sitting in class before 8 in the morning, they're forcing students to learn at a time when their brains are still programmed to be asleep. Students are not lazy. They're not choosing to be exhausted. They're following the natural biological changes that occur during adolescence. That's a challenge no amount of coffee can solve. Fortunately, this is one problem that actually has a practical solution. The solution. The solution is simple. Schools should begin classes at 8:30 a.m. or later. This recommendation is just not my only opinion or my opinion. It is supported by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, and many sleep researchers. Schools that have adopted later start times have reported impressive results. Students sleep longer, attendance improves, grades improve, and students report better mental health. Teachers notice increased participation and better attention in class. Some communities have even seen reductions in motor vehicle accidents involving teen drivers after changing school start times. That's a powerful example of how one scheduling change can literally save lives. Now I understand that some people argue later start times could interfere with after-school sports or parents' work schedules. Those concerns are valid. However, many school districts across the country have successfully adjusted bus schedules, extracurricular activities, and transportation to make later start times work. As students, they may not be able to change school policies overnight, but they can raise awareness, talk with teachers and parents, attend school board meetings, encourage school leaders to consider the scientific evidence when making decisions. Conclusion. As I begin to wrap up, let's remember what we discussed today. First, early school start times create serious problems by causing widespread sleep deprivation. Second, the cause isn't laziness, it's teenage biology. Finally, delaying school start times to 8:30 a.m. or later is a proven solution that improves health, academic performance, and student safety. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Imagine a school where students walk into first period alert instead of exhausted. Imagine classrooms where students are more focused, more engaged, and more prepared to learn. Imagine fewer teens falling asleep behind the wheel and fewer families receiving devastating phone calls because of the preventable accidents.